All right, so for this video, I'm going to start from the beginning, but go ahead and skip ahead to wherever we left off. And if you were absent, just watch the whole thing. All right, so this lesson is going to be about solving log equations and also exponential equations. But I need you to remember from what we've learned in class, you already know how to do this a little bit. And there's pieces of it that you already know, and these harder problems are going to turn into these easier problems. And so let's look. So like when you have a problem, these are both exponential equations, right? And so you can get the bases to match, like 25 and 125 are both powers of 5. So you'd be like, oh, 5 squared, and then put 3x minus 1 back, 5 to the third, and put 5x back. You'd multiply the exponents and then set them equal to each other. So basically you could go ahead and solve that from there. We're not going to solve them all. All right, here you have 7 to the 3x equals 12. Well, there's no power of 7 that is 12 that I know of, right, that we know off the top of our head. So this is where you would change this to a log function. You would write log base 7 of 12 has to equal, 7 to the 3x. So 7 to the 3x equals 12. You change it to a log form. And in this, you just put in your calculator. And when you're done, you get it equal to 3x, and then you divide by 3, right? So you would know how to keep solving that. All right, over here, you have a log equation equal to a number. So just like we changed an exponent to a log, I can change a log to an exponent. So I would write 4 squared has to equal 2x plus 5. And 4 squared is 16, so then I would just keep solving that for x. Over here, I have a log equal to another log. So basically, if when I have a log equal to a log, I would know that the logs match, so I need this to equal that. All right, so 2x plus 5 has to equal 10x, and I would just continue and solve that. All right, over here, this is going to turn into a problem like this, but I need to get rid of this 5. So take away 5 to get the exponent alone. So that's 2. So now take your exponent and write it as a log. Because I don't know a power of e that's 2. Like there's nothing that I would know. So I'd write log base e of 2. So e power goes here, x minus 3. So e to the x minus 3 equals 2. But remember, log base e is just ln. So ln of 2 equals x minus 3. Then I'd go to my calculator, type ln2, and add 3, and I'd have my answer. All right, so more solving. All right, over here, it's like this. I have a log equation log equal to a number. So remember, ln is log base e down here. So I'm going to write e to the 5th equals x minus 4. So I'm going to go to my calculator, get whatever e to the 5th is, and add 4 to it. So if I don't have my calculator, I could just write e to the 5th plus 4, and that would be my answer. But if I did have my calculator, I can get my e on here. So second division, and put power 5, add 4. So there would be my answer. Okay. All right. So let's take a look down here. So one important thing to remember is that you cannot take the log of 0 or the log of a negative number. So that's kind of important to know for like checking our answers down below. So if you ever end up with a log and you end up getting a 0 here, or the log and your number is negative, any negative number, you can't do these problems. Okay. All right, we'll talk about that later. All right, so here, there's 2 scenarios that log equations will turn into. They'll either turn into or be questions that all have logs, or there's logs and numbers. All right, so if everything's equal, if everything has a log on it, so what I mean by that is this. Look at all these pieces, log, log, log. These all have logs. Whereas over here, I see a log with some numbers, but I see addition of 6 and 18. These don't have logs on them. All right, so if it's all logs, I'm going to try to get the problem to be one log equal to another log, and then I'm just going to do like we did up here. All right. If I have logs and numbers, I'm going to try to rearrange the problem to be a log equal to a number. And when I have a log equal to a number, I'm just going to change it to exponent form and solve it that way. Right, so here we go. So you need to get rid of this 6 and get rid of this 3. I need this log alone so that I'll have a log equal to a single number. So let's take away 6. It gets me 12. All right, and then divide by 3. So I could put the 3 as a power, but that's going to be worse. Like 4x minus 5 to the 3rd power, that's going to be gross to solve with. So I'm going to cancel it out this way. All right, so now I have a log equal to a number, so I'm going to write it as an exponent. 3 to the 4th. So 3 to the 4th has to equal 4x minus 5. Well, 3 to the 4th is 81. So 81 equals 4x minus 5. I'm going to add 5. So I got 86 equals 4x. So x is 86 over 4. Or that would be 43 over 2. Okay? Or 21.5. All right, over here, same situation. I have logs and I have a number. So I have to condense these logs. That's why we learned how to condense. Because I know that the log of two logs added turns into ln of 4 times that. I multiply these expressions. So 4 times 2x plus 1. Now I need to actually multiply them. So that's ln of 8x plus 4. Okay, so I have a log equal to a number. So let's do what we did here. Remember, this is base e. So e to the 5th is 8x plus 4. Now from here, I'm going to have to take away 4 and divide by 8. So I'm going to show you in the calculator. So I need e to the 5th. Okay. I'm going to have to take away 4 and then divide by 8. So there's my answer. If I want to write it as an expression, e to the 5th minus 4, so I'd take away 4, and I would divide that by 8. All right. So, if I need a decimal, I have it. If I don't want a decimal, I have that here. So 18.05, let's say. Either one. All right. Down here, it's pretty similar to one above it. I take away 6 and divide by 3. So I'm going to end up with log base 2. Same thing here of x squared plus 7 equals 4. So basically, I took away 6 divided by 3, same problem as up above. All right, so time to write it as an exponent. 2 to the 4th. Well, 2 to the 4th is 16. Has to equal x squared plus 7. All right, so solve this. Take away 7. So x squared equals 9. Do my square root, so x equals plus or minus 3. All right, so this is the first time we've gotten a negative number, and so that reminded me to check this. If I put a negative 3 in this expression, I get 9 plus 7. So that's not negative, so I'm good. Remember earlier when I said we can't do the log of a negative or can't do log of 0. I also don't get 0. So let's just check. If I put 21.5 up here, 4 times 21.5 minus 5, it's not 0, it's not negative. 18, if I put 18 there, this would not be 0, nor would it be negative. All right, so you have to check log problems. You have to any problem with the log in it, you got to check your answers and just check them out. All right, so let's take a look here. I do have all logs here, so it's going to be a little bit different, but I am going to condense these. All right, so I have ln. I'm going to multiply x plus 3 times 3x minus 2 equals, now this 2, remember, is going to come up as an exponent. So ln of 2x squared. So I have some algebra to do, so I got to work this out right here. So it's going to be 3x squared minus 2x plus 9x minus 6. So I have ln of 3x squared plus 7x minus 6 equals ln of 4x squared. Okay, so I have a log equal to a log. This is the first time I've had this situation here. Oh, the top one right here. So when I have a log equal to a log, remember, I'm just going to take these two parts and set them equal to each other. All right, so I got 3x squared plus 7x minus 6 equals 4x squared. All right, so since I have x squareds, I'm going to have to factor. So I want to keep my x squareds happy. So I'm going to take away 3x squared. So I have x squared. I'm going to put the 7x here, so it's minus 7x, and bring the 6 over, so it's plus 6. All right, so I got a factor. So 6 and 1 make 6, and also 7. So my answers are 1 and 6. All right, let's check these out. If I put a 1 or a 6 here, this does not turn into 0 or negative.
You should now be with a teacher, coach, or sponsor for this afternoon.
If I put a 1 or 6 here,
now be with a teacher, coach, or sponsor.
It does not make this turn into 0 or negative.
To get,
and same goes for here.
For your bus pass this afternoon for high school. Thank you so much and have a great day.
So basically, I can keep the 1 and the 6, so I can keep both answers. All right, here we go. Let's see. So all these. So I'm stuck condensing again. All right, so let's see what we get. So I have the log of 2x minus 5 over 4x, because subtraction turns into division, equals log 15. All right, so again, this has to equal that. So 2x minus 5 over 4x has to equal 15. I'm going to multiply the 4x over here. So I get 60x equals 2x minus 5. I'm going to take away 2x. So I get negative 5 equals 58x. And so my answer is going to be negative 5 over 58. Okay, so let's check it out. So if I put negative 5 over 58 right there, 4 times a negative 5 over 58 would be a negative. You can't do the log of a negative. So this is going to produce an illegal situation. So I do not want it. And since that's the only answer I had, I have no solution left. So no solution is my solution. All right, with number 6. So number 6, I want to get rid of this negative 5. Let's divide it out right now. Okay, so I have log, and there's no base there, so I'm going to put the 10. X plus 7 squared equals negative 2. Okay. All right, I have a log equal to a number, so let's solve it. 10 to the negative 2 has to equal x plus 7 squared. Okay, so 10 to the negative 2, that's 1 over 10 squared, so that's 1 over 100. So 1 over 100 equals x plus 7 squared. Okay, so I think I don't want to work this out, so I want to do the square root to get rid of the square. So I'm going to have x plus 7 pop out equals 1/10, but I have to put plus or minus 1/10. All right, I think I like to do this with decimals, right? Because 1/10 is 0.1. So x plus 7 equals plus or minus 0.1. So let's see, I get 2 answers. So I basically get 2 equations here. It's easy. So I get either x plus 7 equals 0.1, or I get x plus 7 equals negative 0.1. So in this situation, when I take away 7 from 0.1, I get negative 6.9. And here when I take away 7, I get negative 7.1. All right, let's check these out. They're both negative, and if I put them in here, I'm going to add 7, but then I'm going to square it. So I'm not going to get a negative because everything squared turns positive. And putting these here doesn't make 0, so I'm good to go. Both answers are correct. All right, number 7. It's kind of hard to tell, but this minus 2 here, it's separate from that. So I just have a single number. So I'm going to do some switching around. I'm going to put this 2 on that side and bring this log over here. So I have log base 12 of 12x, that's the sky. This one's going to come after it, so this minus is going to turn into a plus. And the 2 is going on the other side, so it's going to be positive 2. All right, now I'm ready. So I need to multiply these together, right? Addition turns into multiplication. So I have log base 12 of 12x times x minus 1 equals 2. All right, so I can multiply that out. I'll just do it later, but I basically have 12 squared equals this. Well, 12 squared is 144, so I'm just going to write 144 equals this, 12x times x minus 1. All right, so let's keep going here. So 144 equals 12x squared minus 12x when I distribute and multiply that out. All right, let's bring over the 144. All right, now, all these things divide by 12. So let's just divide everything by 12 to make it easier. So if I do that, I get 0. I get x squared minus x minus 12. So when I divide by 12, it doesn't change my answers at all. It just reduces all the numbers. All right, so let's factor this. I get x minus 4 and x plus 3. And that makes negative 1, but also negative 12. So there's my answers, 4 and negative 3. Well, let's check them. 4 here, fine. Negative 3, nope. 12 times negative 3 is a negative number. Also, if I put negative 3 here, I get a negative answer. I do not want him. Okay, so 4 is my only answer. All right, so I think I'll do this guy down here. I have subtraction. I'm going to put these 2 logs together. So I'm going to have ln of 2x squared plus 4 over 3x equals ln 3. So I got ln, I'm just going to pretty much drop those off and take my problem. 2x squared plus 4 over 3x equals 3. Multiply this over, so 2x squared plus 4 equals 9x. I'm going to bring that 9x to the other side, right in between these guys. So 2x squared minus 9x plus 4 equals 0. So let's factor. Okay, so let's see, 8 and negative 9. So I think I'll use negative 8 and negative 1, but I had to divide them by 2. So I get x minus 4 and 2x minus 1. Okay, so my answers are 4 and 1/2. Let's do a quick check. Putting a 4 or a 1/2 here is fine. Fine here, it doesn't create a 0 or a negative, so I'll keep them both. All right, last log problem. Let's see. So, let's condense these. So, turns to multiplication. Log base 2 of 2 times 2x plus 1 to the third. I could bring that 3 out here, but it's not going to help me because it's not like I can divide it out, okay, because this one doesn't have a 3. So this equals 4. So let's just do our problem. 2 to the 4th is going to equal this. So 2 to the 4th is 16. So I'm going to write 16 equals 2, and then 2x plus 1 to the third. Okay, divide by 2, so I get 8 equals 2x plus 1 to the third. To get rid of a cube, I do a cube root. So I'm doing a cube root. So I get 2 equals 2x plus 1. Take away 1, divide by 2, so x is 1/2. And that does not bother me at all. Everything's good. All right. Now, down here, remember, we're going to cross this one off. Okay, so these are exponential functions. So I'm going to get an exponential equations. I'm going to get an exponential equation that I don't know the answer to. I can't like fix it. I'm not going to be able to like do something like this, make the bases match. So I'm going to have to turn it into a log. But first we have to clean it up. To get rid of this 6 and get rid of this 4, I need this alone to turn it into a log. So we're going to have to add 6. Let's see, so 4 times 2 to the 5x equals 24. I cannot multiply these together because that 5x is in the way. So I have to divide the 4 away. So 2 to the 5x equals 12. So there is no power of 2 that I know to be 12. So we're going to write it as a log. So log base 2 of 12 equals 5x. So if I solve for x, I am going to get log base 2. So let's see, math button. Log base 2 of 12 divided by 5. So 0.717, we'll say. All right, over here, same deal, but I have base e. So it's going to turn into a natural log. So I divide by the negative 6 to get rid of him. So e to the 7 minus 3x equals 7. So I'm going to write log base e of 7 equals 7 minus 3x. So this is really just ln of 7 equals 7 minus 3x. Okay, so I'm going to have to do two things. I'm going to have to take away 7 and divide by negative 3. So if I want to write it like leaving it like this, I would write ln 7, take away 7, divided by negative 3 equals x. That would be an expression for my answer. If I want an actual number, grab my calculator. I have ln of 7, whatever that is. Take away 7 for that right there. Divide by negative 3. So there it is. So 1.6847. Okay, and you can see if I were to enter the fraction that I typed right here, now ln of 7 minus 7 over negative 3, exact same thing. All right, that is it. Bye-bye.